Welcome to Star Citizen. Now, renting a ship can be a blessing, especially if you're a new player. You have no idea what the ships are capable of, or what you might even want to do to make money or just explore around. Perhaps you want to try out a ship before buying it. Now, you can rent a ship at every major station of every major planet. You can also rent it on most spaceports, or even orbital stations, to be honest. It's quite obvious that all ships really aren't worth your time. As a new player, you might want to try out a different path. A ship that can transport cargo, perhaps deliver boxes, or do a proper bounty hunting or mercenary work. Sadly, there aren't that many ships for rent, but there are a few good ones which I'm gonna pick out. Starting with the Aegis Titan Avenger. That is your most flexible ship probably in this list. Well, most of the bands do have different rentals, so you can have some variety in different locations of the ships that you can rent. But I believe that all of them offer this ship that is flexible at doing simple box missions, hauling corpses, or just going around killing things. As for weapons, the stock variant is 2 size 3 laser weapons and 1 size 3 ballistic, but you can swap out whatever you want. It also comes out with 4 rockets, which I believe are size 2. It might not be ideal for firefights, but it can take out some of those opposing ships. So, if you're looking for a capable fighter instead of a hybrid ship, I believe Anvil Arrow has got you covered. It may not be the best fighter, but for sure it's one of the cheapest on the renting list that actually is viable and you might enjoy grinding with. There are a few others. You can try out RSI Aurora, you can try out Mustang Alpha, you can try out some other heavier ships, but this one is just in that good spot where you really don't mind paying for it and you get what your money's worth. As for weapons, the ship comes with the 2 size 2 ballistic guns and a laser turret on top, which I believe has size 1 lasers or repeaters. For missiles, it's actually got a variety. You can switch between 2 different missile types. Now, the missile types themselves can often be confusing, so some may have better targeting ranges, some may have better targeting signatures, some may even lock on faster. But yeah, that's up for debate. Right now, it's pretty well armed ship and can actually take out many of its opponents, and it actually has some good turning speeds compared to heavier and bulkier ships. But then again, it's just one really reliable light fighter. So the next ship I have here is perhaps quite famous, and you can see it around quite often. It's a Drake Cutlass Black. The reason this ship might be popular, it can fit the vehicles quite well, does have enough room. It's considered a dropship, although it does pack a decent punch. You have a turret for a second player, and you can even deliver some cargo. I was actually between this ship and the Freelancer, because Freelancer is equally good. It does fit more cargo. It doesn't have as many rockets. It does have a turret, but not with as good aiming angles as this one. So I had to pick this because this one feels a bit more flexible, although not ideal for running cargo, but you can do it with this ship. As for weapons, it comes with the 2 ballistic and 2 laser size 2 weapons. They're equally as good and the overall firepower is quite nice. And if you add a turret on top, which I believe is size 3, you can cause some serious damage. Now the turret does have also 2 guns, and those should be laser repeaters. But perhaps what makes this ship equally as deadly is the amount of rockets it can carry. Total of 16 rockets. And those all are gonna cause some serious drama. Now compared to the Anvil Arrow, it turns really slowly, but it does pack a bunch. It is considered a dropship, but I guess we can consider it also kind of a medium fighter or a support fighter. It's a good ship overall. If you're against the NPC's AI, fighting with the ship is no problem. If you're in duels with other players, this can be quite devastating for you. Now you do have a second spot in the turret, which can give your friend or your ally good chances to actually do some damage when you aren't capable of doing any whatsoever. There were actually more ships I could talk about, but I believe these three are some of the more reliable ones and flexible ones that the new players might be interested in. Of course, it all depends on your preference, your ship use. There are some other good ones as well, but these three are the ones that stand out for me. Whatever I do, wherever I go, these are the good ships that I often end up using. Plus, for renting, they're rather cheap. Of course, we all have our preferences and we use different ships for different missions. Doesn't mean these ships are ideal for all the missions that there are available, but they often are quite flexible or rather decent for the tasks they are meant for. But anyways, thanks for watching.